pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to films I should have talked about years ago. And now, well, you know what? I'd say it's the perfect time to actually get back to some more work on this, because I could be behind on this. I've actually talked a little bit about how I was behind Honest J. Nowak Season 2 production, but this might as well just be at the very tip top of the iceberg. Because let's just say I'm behind on a lot of things out there, but this is just technically what has been happening lately, as I have been trying to keep up with a lot of other things relating to my work. But now that I'm coming back here with some more progress on things, let's go ahead and talk about a little something for episode 46, and that of which would be a film from 1996 called Kingpin. Yeah. This one right here, I'd say, is kind of an underrated comedy by any means, but that's just kind of what happens when people tend to overlook some things out there relating to cinematography and acting talent by any means. Because this film does, in fact, star the likes of actors that we've known throughout the years, like Woody Harrelson, Bill Murray, and Randy Quaid, just to name a few. But the premise of this one is certainly unlike many other things out there. For a film that's rated PG-13, you could hardly ever expect quite a big satirical feel that would ever come through with this. But yet, it does in fact deliver on the satire much more than many other things out there at the time. The premise is simply about a bowler whom in the late 70s ends up losing a hand after pretty much beating a ruthless gang of thugs. The thugs go as far as to chop off the poor guy's hand in a bowling ball returner machine, and after quite a long time, well, the bowler's career ends up getting flushed down the toilet and is forced to live in rock bottom sort of conditions inside of a set of slums, being forced to do some really dirty things just to pay rent towards an apartment and all that, but also having to pretty much go without one hand pretty much for all life and all time itself. But you know what though? Of all films that had Woody Harrelson in it, this one, I'd say, is probably criminally underrated. But maybe not for the wrong reasons, by any means. I will admit that this one did not necessarily have every sort of expectation met. But in all cases, the way you look at something like this, Harrelson's acting talent combined with the fact that Randy Quaid's unbelievably silly antics and Bill Murray's sort of prideful, well, I can't really be sure how to describe it because Murray does not make such a big appearance and all that, but the way that I see it, having such a big film like this is not necessarily met with such glowing reviews. And that's of course able to be backed upon by the fact that some people on IMDb have not really been giving it that many stars. But I don't really understand why that is. Kingpin is such an underrated classic by any means that's now 25 years old. Yeah, so the timing is perfect here. A quarter-century old film like that does not need to be given such bad taste by any people like that. And it is certain that a lot of the sort of comedy and action that's put into it, it's usually overlooked. And there's been tons of cases out there revolving these sorts of things, but there's way too many examples like that. But above all, I will at least say that Kingpin is certainly enjoyable. It's got plenty of action, adventure, humor, all on a specific purpose. For a bowler to try and gain back a lost career after a very critical injury had taken place, ruining the poor guy's life. Probably forever. And as a result of that, I will say that I might as well be a bit generous here and give it kind of a bigger score than necessary. And as a result, well, 7.8 out of 10. This one's a bit of a not so long review, but that's only because there's really not too much else left that I could speak out about this. But by any means, go watch it for yourself. A bowler from the urban area meeting up with an Amish youth on the road to go all the way over to a bowling competition that is probably rigged to begin with, but Anyways, that's probably going to cut it for today. And I will have some more stuff around tomorrow. But if you want to see more, go down on my channel. Then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.